Saturn in the 6th house. Well, in order for you to find out in what house a planet is, you need to know your time of birth. And then you can go to my birth chart calculator, for which I'm putting a link, which takes you to AstroLada.com, to the birth chart calculator. Just enter the time of your birth. Within 20 minutes at least, you need to know it the correct time. And you'll get a chart like that. And Saturn is in the 6th house when it's with the 6th house cusp, which means that it will be in the same square or whatever, triangle, square or triangle, it means sign, in the same sign as the 6th numerical, Roman numerical number. Here it is. Sometimes it might be in this square, sometimes it might be in that square, most often is in this square, sometimes it might be here. And sometimes Saturn, might be just here, in the 6th sign from the ascendant, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, without any house cusp even. But it will again have the influence of being as Saturn in the 6th house, because it's in the 6th sign from ascendant, so it's very similar. And if you're using the Western chart, Saturn will be here. The ascendant starts from here, and Saturn will be indicated with this symbol in the 6th house. So what is the karma? Because Saturn shows karma in the 6th house. The 6th house first shows all those who are underprivileged, who are maybe poor, who work for you, who you hire, who are, somehow in a social standing a bit low. Those who are sick, those who are poor, those who are in need, those who are in the margins of society, even criminals sometimes. And when Saturn is there, it shows that you have some past life karma, or maybe some mistreatment of people in such position before. Maybe you were in position of authority, so you treated people wrongly, those below you, maybe people that worked for you, maybe people that, at the working place, or your employees you treated wrongly, or maybe someone who was your servant, or maybe you mistreated poor people, maybe you were rich and you didn't care about them, or you didn't give enough service to such people, or maybe you were a doctor and kind of abused your, your relationship with clients, with those patients. So in this lifetime, you're asked to pay back to such kind of underprivileged circles and those below you. So often a person is put in the position of service to them. It doesn't mean you will be poor. It doesn't mean you will be, you have to be a servant always, but you have a karma to pay back. So often such people have to work much harder than others. Often such people might even be drawn to pay back their karma, because the best way to pay back Saturn's karma is through work. So they might be drawn to works which are similar to 6th house. So people who are in medicine, they become great doctors who have Saturn in the 6th house, because they're really driven to help others, because of this inner sense that they need to give something back to those sick, to those unbalanced. They can be great drug addict counselors. They can be counselors for those who are mentally unstable. They can be counselors for those who are poor. They can be social services, or they can be in government positions where they have to take care of those socially underprivileged. They can be also in law, in crime law, where those criminally more marginal people, so they can become lawyers, crime lawyers, or some kind of lawyers that are dealing with disagreements, with arguments, with all those disbalanced situations in life, because this is what 6th house is. So you have work to do there with all such situations. So in your life, or maybe they can be people who are very mentally, environmentally aware, and they want to work there to, to support the environment. Anything which is disbalanced, toxic, they try to, to manage it better, to give service to it, because they have karma that they have to pay towards those underprivileged or unbalanced systems of people, unhealthy one, anything like that. So they best do it through being in such careers, or maybe some way helping others in poor situation. Maybe even if you're not in such a career of a military, police person, doctors, social services type of careers, and law, then you can pay back this karma by helping underprivileged people in some way, by taking care of those, taking care of the poor, of the old. Saturn represents poor, old people as well. Somehow also you can pay back the karma of the 6th house. Is the 6th house the house of service? So you can pay it back usually by working much longer hours in this life than other people. Often such people find themselves in careers where they feel stuck, not careers but jobs that you work for maintenance, for survival, that they feel stuck, they feel in a rut, and often they will keep on working, because such people often become workaholics, as we said. They'll keep on working and giving a lot from themselves there, but they'll feel like enthusiastic, they'll feel miserable in that place, they'll feel stuck, as I said. This is like the breakdown period for them. They keep doing everything by rote, just because like the universe wants them to pay their karmic debt by service, by work, you know. So a lot work. I've watched celebrities as well with Saturn in the 6th house. You can be a celebrity, you can be a president even with this position, but these people are so hardworking. They start like even from age of 10 years, they repetitions, rehearsals, training, they really become perfectionists. They push themselves to the limit when it comes down to their crafts and art and their career and their work as well. And even when they're in the work, they can be in a work where they feel disgruntled with, because Saturn is a difficult karma. They have to work there, and it's very hard for them to change jobs and careers, because 6th house shows the service, the work that you do, and Saturn is a planet of resistance and blocks this. So often, even when they want to change a job, or they want to change something within their jobs, their routines in their workplace, there is a lot of resistance from outside or even from within themselves. They would not quit a job or an obligation or a duty until something very critical happens, you know. And also with the routines, 6th house rules all kind of routines, whether it's work routines, they have a lot of resistance to changing those. Even when they're trying to change from a really stressful job that requires a lot of hard work, a lot of hours and repetitiveness, they might find it hard to get to a new one, or to adapt, or to make circumstances change there. But also when they're trying to make any changes to do with their daily routines, they might be quite resistant as well there, especially health routines as well, because 6th house shows how you take care of your body. So a person can be quite resistant. So for people with this position, it's very good to teach them from very young age good health habits, because they'll stick with them. If you teach them from young age to work out, to, you know, to have good foods as medicine, you know, and how to take care of their body, they would stick to those routines forever. And it might be hard for them to let go of the more difficult routines, but often they're called to do that. You know, they're called to learn how to take better care of their body, because the 6th house is the house of disease, and often they have also disease karma. Maybe they didn't take proper care of their body in past lives, and because of that they tend to have more chronic illnesses in this lifetime, so they can learn how to have better health regime. So such people, often you see them, they might have like certain illness, pains here and there that are constant, that are chronic, or that kind of uncomfortableness when it comes to their health. So this way they're called to take much better care of their physical body. And it's great for such people. They can have great discipline. Wherever Saturn is, a person develops great self-control and discipline. So in such regimes, so they can even become great fitness workout, you know, very great fitness workout, crazy almost about that. You know, I've seen a lot of fitness instructors as well with this position. They're working out their difficult karma by working careers that are connected to the 6th house of health, you know, like fitness instructing, you know, healing as well, work body therapies. Often people, they can be quite often interested in that kind of careers. And also Saturn shows, 6th house shows what kind of illness you can have in your life. And Saturn there, as we said, often can bring some kind of chronic illness, karma with chronic illness, or illness which is kind of more colds, more drying, more brittleness, more stiffness, because Saturn is a brittle, stiff, cold planet, with stretching a little bit. You know, you need, especially people with this position, need to do more stretching to keep their bones and their muscles more elastic, you know, because stiffening diseases can happen there. Also disease is connected to the sign that Saturn is in the 6th house. If it's in sign of Aries, it might be something to do with the nervous system of the head. If it's in Taurus, in this part, with the thyroid, with the throat, you know. If it's in Gemini, it might be something with lungs, the hands, or with Leo, with the heart, with Virgo, the intestines, and and stomach. With the Libra, might be the sex organs and kidneys. With Scorpio, again, sex organs and eliminating organs. And what is it? With Aquarius, Sagittarius Sagittarius is connected to the thighs and to sorry, I don't remember now, but depending on the different sign, you can have illnesses connected. That whatever sign Saturn is in the 6th house, you can have more issues connected there, you know, health issues. Okay. Also, 6th house is legal battles and your enemies, and Saturn is very resistant there. So people with Saturn in the 6th house, they can endure long legal battles, and actually such people, even if they don't want to be in such kind of battles and such kind of legal issues, they might be drawn during their lifetime because they have karma to pay off there. But they're very resistant and very resilient to those, because Saturn gives stamina. So they can go in for very long court cases, you know, and they'll stick their ground till the end, and often they can overcome the battle with their enemies, because 6th house rules enemies as well, you know, and enemies, we have more karma with such people. We have more karma with people who antagonistically, you know, predisposed towards us. So we might feel like everywhere we go, we create enemies, and everywhere we challenge like the more argumentative sides of others, and sometimes a person can even feel persecuted. But they also, the person with Saturn in the 6th house, have the power to overcome this, have the power to win the battles, have a power. Such people become usually very tough cookies, you know, this is the word. They become they can be very resistant. They develop resistance wherever Saturn is to disease. By improving their health and body regime, they develop resistance to all kind of antagonistically predisposed elements towards them, and they triumph usually over their enemies, but after long battles usually. And 6th house is often people like that. They're very realistic when it comes to the more vulgar, more impoverished, to the more you know, anything which is more malefic in life, anything's like vulgarity or crime or negativity, aggression, doesn't faze them. They kind of, they expect that life will be like that these things will be there. They deal very realistically with such situations and such people. So nothing can shock them, really, to be honest, with such people. That, as we said, they're tough cookies. That's why they're very good for medical professions, for military professions, for social services professions, because they're not faced by the underprivileged and by anything which usually turns others off, you know, disease and inequality, dirt, and impoverishment. And it's very important, 6th house is the house of cleanliness, health, and order, and regimes. So these people, they need to have a very strict regime in their daily life. Otherwise, this is where they find, because of their health usually and work, they learn the most discipline in their life. Wherever Saturn is, this is where we learn most self-control, either through difficult karma of disease or through difficult karma of working very hard. They're able to develop a lot of self-discipline, but it's very important for them to have strict regimes, to have maybe waking up early, workout, very proportionate foods, what they eat, what they do during the day, to strictly regulate that. And usually these people do it. Usually these people are strictly regulated in their routines when it comes to those. It's actually Saturn in the 6th house in ancient astrology is a very positive position. Even though it gives you a lot of hard work and a lot of service, it's a very positive position because it makes you very strong person to overcome obstacles. 6th house is all the nasty things we don't want to deal with, all the material difficulties, debts, enemies, animosity, obstacles that come in your life. And Saturn makes you very tough there. They have a more bigger amount of those things in their life, of those more difficult things, but they overcome them, and due to that, the sense of empowerment comes as well. So you can put such people in very tough situations, and they'll learn and they'll deal with them perfectly. They'll find the strength, and they'll know how to deal with it without getting phased and shocked over, let's see. So karma towards the underdog, towards servants, towards the exploited. Often they can get involved in such causes. As I said, this is the best way to work through Saturn in the 6th house, by helping such people. Well, I think we said it all. Often they might have a feeling of victimization because a lot of difficulties crop up in their life, especially in the first 30-35 years of their age. But after that, they become masters of dealing with those problems. They become masters. So such people can be amazing in careers as well, where they're called to deal with the most difficult things, where they're called constantly under pressure, under stress, under environment which is disharmonious. They know how to do it. You need such a person with Saturn in the 6th house if you need to hire someone with such a job, for such a job which is constantly under pressure, like I said, military, police, doctor, social services, those that work with the poor, with the drug addicts, or everything like that. Okay, I think that's overall everything. Please share, write your comments. Do you agree? Add in some things. Maybe I forgot certain things. Thank you.